Wall Street Journal story. American women are giving up on marriage.
Ooh-wee.
Damn it, that's not good for me.
This is not good, bro. Especially if you want one. Like, let's read this story. Ladies, if you haven't given up on marriage, you're single, you're, take care of yourself, and you're into good-looking, young, funny Assyrian men, please connect Vinny. Vincent Oshana on Manek. That's his QR code. And if you have a friend, maybe you're married, and you have a girl that you want to introduce Vinny to, please connect Vinny. Now, ladies, if you're young, barely out of college, bad relationship with your father,
can't speq good English,
connect Adam.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a very different community we got. No, but you guys get
Also,
the idea.
fellas, I'm willing to go. As a gay Jew,
Let me read this to you.
allegedly, I'll take what I can get. You're rich.
American women are giving up on marriage. Andrea Vorlasek, 29-year-old boss. Andrea. Old Boston, a 29-year-old Boston accountant said, I'm financially self-sufficient, enough to do these things myself. What are these things? Opening to house hunt solo and consider kids alone, admitting I don't want to sit here and say I'm 100% happy, but I feel happier just accepting my reality. Daniel Cox of the American Enterprise Institute, the numbers aren't netting out, with more women than men are attending college, buying houses and focusing on their friendships and career over dating and marriage, as 51.4% of women 18 to 40 were single in 2023. Damn. Did you guys pay attention? Vinny and Adam, you guys pay attention to this part. 51.4% of women ages 18 to 40 were single in 2023.
Okay.
So 51.4% right there in 2023.
All right.
Just 23 years ago was only 41.8%.
Damn.
Exactly. That it went from 41.8 to 51.4%, 18 to 40, single. Surveys show shifting attitudes, with a 2024 AEI poll finding over half of single women said they believed they were happier than their married counterparts, versus just over a third of surveyed single men. A 2022 Pew survey revealing only 34% of single women were looking for romance, compared to 54% of single men. That's not a good matchup.
No, it's not.
Vinny, your thoughts on this, since you did a lot of research on this. What do you want to say about the story?
I don't know. I'm just, I think just with, especially when you have girls like the Rachel Zegler, that their attitude is guys pursuing, girls, it's stalker mentality. And I just think, I don't know. Just me as a single guy right now. I mean, I have, Pat, I went from military to no birds and the bees talk with my dad. Never. I don't know if did your dad ever give you the talk? No. Okay, yeah. So I went from military, not knowing anything.
He would just call me and leave a message in the army, and I would say, Tico, mutret vadet, hemisha condom hemisha. Okay? He would send me condoms as gifts when I was in the army.
Seriously,
that's my
100%.
We all know how
my
Vinny
dad
feels
would
about
send me
condoms.
boxes of condom for when I was in the army.
I love Gabriel. That's a father. Even the conversation, my dad not mentioned it once. So then I went from not knowing to military, you know about that, and then to Hollywood. And then it just ruined everything. But I think just the sentiment now, I think it's a mind shift and it's a culture shift, because at the end of the day, we're made to put here to do what? Multiply and
procreate
and do it. And I mean, listen, I'm in line, and I'm just, I'm biding my time. I'm praying to God, and it's gonna happen.
I'd love to hear Tom's opinion, then I can maybe clean up here.
Well, first of all,
Adam's gonna clean up, guys. He's our cleanup.
He's a cleanup hitter.
Clean up on aisle 7.
He's our
Adam's on deck.
Clean up on aisle 7, guys.
Adam would be ninth place. Like, what do you call, like a pitchers? Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, unfortunately, these
Closers,
numbers.
motherfuckers.
Unfortunately, the numbers are real. Starting with the number of women that are in college versus men that are in college, there's shifts that are happening all over the place, and we could do a case study on this, but there has been the emergence of it's over, I think it's 18 years, because that goes back to 2007, is the emergence of the hookup culture.
Yeah.
And so the hookup culture and temporary relationships, the changing demographic of who's in college and women, But there are other, so all that's very real. I'm not going to say that's not real, but there are other stats out there that talk about satisfaction having children with a married partner. They talk about the truth that there is happiness and satisfaction. Is it challenging? Yes. They'll drive you nuts some weekends? Yes. But is there an ultimate joy in knowing that you're building citizens of the future and you're building this person of quality? And the answer is yes. And so for every article that talks about one side of it, there's a lot of other data that talks about the other side, but unfortunately, a lot of the things they're talking about are very real, and today's single people are having greater challenges than ever before finding people that think and feel the same way they do, that they feel that they could trust, and build a big relationship with.
Adam, clean up. Come on.
Clean up an aisle 7.
Hit it.
So, Chelsea Handler, it's all your fault. American women are giving up on marriage. You know, when Chelsea Handler, my ex, you know, when we had that internet beef 3 years ago, it's because I was citing a report from Morgan Stanley called the She Economy, not the economy, but the She Economy. And basically saying by 2025, which the year we're in now, they anticipate that 45% of working women between 18 and 40 will be childless, no married, no kids. Well, the report was wrong, because they said 45%. Tom, you're a numbers guy. What number is it now?
41.8 according to the...
No, that's what it was in 2000, Tom. Not sure why I called on you.
51.4.
51%.
According to the American Enterprise Institute.
Thank you, Tom. You had one job and you got the stat wrong. I love you anyway. However, 51% of women have nothing going on, no marriage, no kids, no nothing. That's up literally 10% since 2000. So Chelsea Handler, you might want this no kid, all drugs, all sex toy thing going on in your life. And that's great because you're famous and you're a feminist and you got millions in the bank. But my question is this. For the 38-year-old woman who's making 60 grand a year working as whatever job, for the 34-year-old woman who's basically focused on her job and not a family, for the 44-year-old woman who's now considering having a baby with herself, did modern feminism work out for you? So I would argue that Chelsea Handler has been the poster child for what is wrong in America, for focusing on yourself rather than a family. A woman has one job that she can do better than a man. Only one.
Birthing?
And that's birthing. It's not
Birthing
working.
person.
It's not fighting. It's not hustling. It ain't rebounding. What's her face in the WNBA that's going on strike? It is birthing.
Angel Reese or whatever.
Angel Reese.
Yeah.
So there's been this conflation of that men are women and women are men. There's no difference. Men and women are not equal. Why? Because equal means the same. We're not the same. You have this magical, amazing ability to have children and give birth. And you're giving it all up to do what? Make a couple extra bucks? And then here's the funniest thing is they say things like, you know, I don't want no man telling me what to do. Listen, bitch. You don't want your husband telling you what to do, but you'll have a random boss telling you what to do? So it doesn't make any sense to me. The happiest, in my opinion, that women were was when they were focusing on family, having kids. They didn't have to stress about work. I'm not saying that they shouldn't work, but prioritize kids and family. Vinny's 58 years old. He could still impregnate a woman
My sperm,
today.
Yep.
You go meet a 58-year-old woman. She ain't doing nothing. That
Yeah,
thing's
honestly,
dusty.
with the way your take, I'm surprised you're single, not married.
So
I'm actually very surprised.
I have a newsflash.
Yeah,
Polymarket said
We're not going to play this game because I was married 10 years ago to a woman, a very lovely girl.
to a woman. Okay.
To a woman. That's
Check.
right.
Got it,
Tom,
check.
you've been with one in your life. You understand. And she wasn't a wife. She wanted to get married, but she wasn't willing to be a wife. So I sent her back out to
the
her
pack,
pasture,
to the herd.
figure it out.
Yeah.
And now here's the biggest problem. We can make fun of us all as want. There's a lot of hoes out there. There's a lot of girlfriends out there. There's a lot of girls that you would date. There's not a lot of good wives out there. You know, we're talking about inflation in America today. Are you familiar with another term called hoflation? Familiar with this term, Vinny?
I just heard it right now.
The price you pay for an average wife, for a woman who used to be a wife, is much greater than it has ever been. The concept of men having to work 20 times harder than their grandfathers for women that are 20% worse than their grandmothers.
That Webster's?
That's
Urban
Webster's.
Dictionary.
Urban,
That's
got
Urban
it, got it.
Dictionary.
Nice.
But now you're starting to see things like, do you know who? This is a weird thing. I was actually talking about it with Andrew Tate. Do you know who Riley Reid is?
No.
Okay, she's a famous porn star. Don't Google her.
Baseball player.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
You could just maybe hit an image and hit a blur. Okay, there she is. This is a woman. Think about this for a second,
Looks
guys.
wet.
She is.
No, I mean her. Guys,
I get it, Vinny.
you're going to pervert land.
So-
I'm saying she looks like she's just been.
Google Riley Reid wedding. So she recently got married, okay, to a guy. I think he's famous for doing parkour. This is a adorable little girl who has. Okay, go to that image right there so you can see.
I don't think I can
No,
show
no.
this.
No, you can show. Okay,
Oh,
maybe.
I don't show this in the back.
Okay,
please.
gotcha. All right, that's her. Maybe you don't show that. That's her after being.
There's no way we showed that, did we?
Don't show.
Don't
it.
show
no.
that. That's her after being with, let's just say, the starting five for the Lakers, and then juxtapose that with getting married to some dude, and then she says, "Hey guys, internet." By the way, she's all over the internet. Hey guys, would you please respect the fact that I'm married now and maybe delete all the scenes I've done on the internet because I've grown now.
Good luck with
and
that.
I want to be respected. So here's this cuck marrying a literal porn star and basically saying, don't worry about your past, babe. It's okay that you've been filled more times than an Exxon gas pump, okay? So that is the problem with women. This is hoflation. That is who men are choosing to marry. That's a wife. That's who you're going to choose to have. Hey, mom, I want you to introduce you to my new girlfriend, Riley Reid. Unbelievable. So who's the one that we talked about? She had sex with 100
Is
guys?
this like your chance to vent because you're done? Okay, so we got it. We understand.
What does that
where
mean,
you're at
I'm
with
done?
this. Yeah, like
What does
I'm
that
good.
mean?
You've been speaking plenty of time. We'll move on. So,
But you do notice what's happening in society.
Adam, I got your point. You're in this life, so the only people you're ever with is with nightlife
Pat,
people.
you're
So
absolutely wrong.
I'll
tell you
Am
why
I
you're
absolutely wrong?
Yeah, I'll tell you why
Okay,
you're wrong.
so go ahead, tell us what you-
because
tell us what's
it's not
changed
I'm
with
in this
you.
life.
Yeah.
Every man who's single is in this life.
Yeah.
I get that you're happily married. You have four
No,
kids.
that's not. No,
That's
don't,
amazing.
Don't,
No, that is the
don't-
point.
No, that's not the point.
Of
No,
course,
no,
it's the
because
point.
The
point is you don't know what it's like to be single out there
you,
and see half the girls you meet are doing OnlyFans.
Adam, where are you looking for these people?
I'm not even saying me.
No, but
Pat.
that's the point, though. Where are you looking?
Don't worry about
Let
me.
ask
I'm
you a
good.
question. No,
I'm talking about the rest of men in society.
No, you're speaking from your perspective.
No, okay,
you're
well,
you're speaking.
who do you
from,
think has more credibility on this topic, me or you?
You're to being around hoes. You, yeah, I agree. You're around this. That's your market.
True
That's,
that, but also being in,
no, but if you're asking me who has more credibility, you do in this area. But also,
I don't
your
hang out with this girl.
Your challenge.
I also hang out with normal
Adam,
women. I'm saying the challenge that young men are facing.
When's the last time you did Saucecast? When's the last time you did Saucecast?
It got canceled because I don't know for whatever
When's the
reason.
last time you did Saucecast?
It's been a while.
Why do you think you stopped doing Saucecast?
Because I stopped talking about money because someone encouraged me to start talking about the hose.
Who did?
Some gentleman that maybe works here.
Someone told you to talk about hoes.
No, I didn't say that.
Who?
I don't know. We don't,
Who?
we-
Tell us who.
Tell
Go
you
ahead.
Who, tell you who. What?
Go ahead, tell us who.
Saying what?
Someone told you to talk about hoes?
Talk about relationships and
It's a
lifestyle.
whole different story.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So for you, when you how old are you right now, bro?
I'm 45.
45 years old. This is how you're speaking about this.
Yes,
So
because this is how they talk. So what's your criticism with me,
this
sir?
this is what Go
No,
ahead,
I'm
tell
saying,
me.
but this is what's going out there in society at this point.
For who though? In what
For
community?
every man out there.
No, it's not true though.
Yes, that is true.
That is not true though.
Okay.
It's where you know.
What percentage of women did OnlyFans 20 years ago?
Do you know
What percentage of women did OnlyFans 20 years ago?
Do you know how long
How many-
Do you know how long prostitution's been around?
It's the oldest profession.
How long has prostitution been around?
Forever.
Okay, then. So go to how long that's been around. The trade of prostitution, or whatever you want to talk about it.
10 seconds after the invention of money.
How long have drugs been around? How long has... But you know what you sound like to me? You sound like a little victim. Is what you sound like.
What?
You sound like
You're
a little...
making this about me, and I'm making this about society.
No, because...
So go ahead. I'm
wait
the
a minute,
victim. Go
wait
ahead.
a minute.
Go ahead.
Wait a minute. Any guy who listens to this and buys into the rhetoric that's being sold, hear them out. But if you buy it, you sound like a victim. That's what you sound like. When somebody talks like that, Everybody's this and everybody's that and everybody's that. You sound defeated. You sound like a victim. You sound weak. A guy, you know what it's like? It's like when I ran an insurance business for the longest time, my guys would come to me Monday morning and it would say, you know what it is? All these guys with leads and insurance, there are no more people that want to buy life insurance. Haven't you seen the stats? And they're just life insurance has been declining. You know when I started a life insurance company? In 2009. Do you know what was going on in 2009? Do you know what was happening with insurance companies like AIG? What was going on with AIG in 2009? AIG is about to go out of business.
TARP, recession,
That's right.
trouble.
Do you know what data came out saying that the life insurance industry went from 500,000 agents to 174,000 agents? Life insurance is a dying industry. You know why? Because the old timers that made a lot of money, guess what they're not doing? They're no longer training new people. And that's what they're doing. They're no longer training anybody. And guess what? And I said, you know what percentage of agents are women? 17%. You're never going to be able to get women to sell insurance. Oh, really? Yeah, okay. Well, look, I saw how buyers and customers will receive the sale coming from a woman versus a man, and I think there's a lot of market. If there's 174,000 agents right now, we used to have 500,000 more, there's got to be a major demand for insurance because I looked at the data and I said, that's what we're going to build an insurance company. While my competitors were saying there's no more market for life insurance, we licensed 50,000 people and sold a business for $250 million. Mm-hmm. While I'm around people that sound like you talking about insurance and there's no more need for it. What's the point? Is what you're saying with Tinder, with all these dating apps, making it tougher for guys to find girls because they're easier, you don't know how many people they've been with? Oh, yes. Is it tougher if I go on a date right now with Tinder and the script is, you know, you're the first guy I've gone on a date with Tinder. You think I believe that? Of course not. But where am I looking? Versus, if I'm really interested in wanting to get married, guess who I'm talking to? The people around me. I'm getting in different communities. I'm going to different markets, just like if an insurance. If you want to sell a $20 million life insurance policy and you want to go to people that are rich, do you think you're going to find them at a nightclub or do you think you're going to find them at a country club? Do you think you're going to find a $20 million life insurance policy going to a Starbucks, or do you think you're going to find it going to the hotel we were at, which was whatever that hotel was, or if we go to Four Seasons, or if I go to networking at Mar-a-Lago, or if I go, where do you think I'm going to find these types of clients? You think having lunch at Mar-a-Lago, maybe I'm going to be around some clients that can do some premium financing? Yes. It's where you go to look for them. So your points you're making, although they may be valid because accessibility is more prevalent today than ever before, but prostitution and all this stuff has been around for a very, very long time. To sound like a victim and revert back to the sauce talking point that you had 24/7, of course you ain't going to get married. And that's okay. By the way, I don't care if you never get married. But the idea of playing the position of, I want to have a family, and then you talk like this. I don't know if I'm telling you to talk like this. Who are you? Like, we had this conversation a year and a half ago when I said the following. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do this message here. Whenever you give a message and you watch, like we're in a room and I'm talking to my guys and they're saying to me, well, Pat, we don't think we should have a full-timers meeting on the 1st of January. I don't know why you do that every year. Every year on January 1st, I would host a full-timers meeting on the 1st at 8 a.m. And I'm running an office, sales agents that are mainly in their mid to late 20s, some of the early 30s. Who the hell in their 20s wants to go to a manager's meeting with a freaking crazy guy named Patrick Bet-David January 1st at 8 a.m.? Who do you think wants to go to?
Nobody.
Nobody does. Nobody does. But that was my way of lowering the number of DUIs my guys would get, because I know what happens on December 31st, because I used to party a lot back in the days. So when we're having a conversation, you know what the conversation will be like or whatever. So what time do you think we should have this meeting? I think we should start it at 11 a.m. I think we should do barbecue and start it at 10 a.m. I think we should do, what's going on, guys? What is that?
No, it's something else. It's our notes from today.
Yeah, I think we should play it at noon and do barbecue for everybody. And then you know how many people in the room would agree that we should do it at 8 a.m.? Less than 5%. Mm-hmm. And guess what I'm doing a meeting at? I'm doing it at 8 a.m. 95% of people hated me for it. I'm still hosting a meeting. And I wasn't married. I didn't have kids. It wasn't like I'm a married guy. So you don't understand what it is to be. I was as single as one could be. And I'm still hosting a meeting. Right? People showed up. And then we held a meeting. It was always the best meeting ever because it would be a high level of preparation. Be very careful who you're entertaining that's validating your point to make you feel like you're validated. Be very careful what mob makes you think you're right. Be very careful what community gives you the attention you need for you to feel like you're the right guy. You're right on this. Be very careful. Who do you want to win over? There's certain people that have no interest in winning over. You know, and this has been around for a long time. When I didn't want to get married, guess what I want to go to? The places you go to. When I eventually wanted to, I wanted to find a different community, different lifestyle, different people that have made different choices. And then you sit there and you're like, okay, let's see what's going on here. You know, that's a very big difference. So you can go off and say all this stuff and, you know, entertain and so awesome and all this other stuff. It's not a mature statement, and it's a victim message. I know you're not going to like me saying that to you. It's just the truth. You say, well, it's not fair. Well, it's not fair. It's not, you know, it's this. They're like this. This is what's going on out there. And this is what the single guys are going through. And yes, I am the face of the single guys that agree with me on this here. There's nothing like family. There's nothing like you working hard to find something you're looking for and having to go against 80% of people that disagree with you. Nothing like it. And by the way, getting married, very hard, hardest thing you'll ever do. I will only do it once. I've said it 15 years straight. If this doesn't work out, you will never see me get married again. Ever see me get married again. I'm only going to get married once. I'm not doing it twice. That's me. Some people do it 2 or 3 times. But for me, it's one thing I'm doing once. I got the 4 kids. I got the family. It is what it is. But the audience and the victim of language, I don't recommend it to anybody. But some tells me you got a rebuttal here.
Well, yeah, I do. Because, dude, if there's anybody that can take heat, it's this guy over here. I'm sure the chat's going crazy. I'm sure.
Oh, I guarantee the chat's on your side.
Maybe they're not. I don't care.
Because I'm not even looking at it. But I guarantee the chat is saying,
go back to that picture of Rachel Zegler.
Yeah.
Because, Pat, if I'm going to listen to you, I'm going to say entrepreneurship, building a business, marriage, kids, there's values, principles, religion, God. There's so many things I'm going to listen to PBD on. But you've been married for 15 years. You don't know what it's like. This is the girl that most guys are dealing with these days.
Oh, such an annoying angle to take for you.
Okay. But it's true.
No,
Pat.
it's not.
So
though.
you know what's interesting about me?
Bro, the more
is that I'm not
change,
soft,
the more,
and I'm not going to say you're right because you're my boss.
You're right.
I'm going to say this is what I feel.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Most guys are saying, hold on, I'm dealing with either a boss babe who doesn't want to deal with an average guy because they've become the man that they want to become.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know you're a data guy. It's gone up 10% in the last 20 years. Now more women than ever are single. So you have a girl who's more focused on her career and based on hypergamy. If you don't make a certain amount of money,
the two.
you don't. But then the second one is then the second one is you're dealing with a girl who's doing all the host stuff out there. Why do you think that our friend Andrew?
That's been around forever.
No, because the internet's only been around for 20 years. Why do you think Andrew Tate has such a big following? Because he's talking about getting married and living happily ever after? Or he's basically saying, guys, the hoes are out there. Let the hoes be hoes. Do what you want with the hoes. This is literally what he says. But don't marry them. Don't marry them. He just had a viral clip go out there with our friend Sean Kelly. He goes, they're going to do what they're going to do. But don't make the mistake like that schmuck who married Riley Reid and bringing this chick who gets DP'd for a living home to mom.
Who the hell?
Don't make that mistake.
You're taking the exception and making that the majority.
No, but that is what is becoming more common.
No, it's not about being more common. Adam, the more and more I think you're about to have a breakthrough, the more easily you're flattered and influenced and revert back to old way of victim thinking.
You're making this about me.
It is, though. It's not.
I don't give a shit. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to be okay.
No one's saying.
I'm talking about the general man in society.
No, the general man in society
is struggling right now.
No, the general man in society
is struggling.
I'm not telling you
they're broke. They're not getting laid.
Yeah.
They're out of shape. They're sloppy. They're playing video games, and they're dealing with women who are basically saying, unless you have a yacht or a boat or a mansion, I'm not going to deal with you. And they're like, oh my God.
First of all, the general man in society is not living near somewhere where there are yachts. You're in Miami.
Okay.
Miami's not America.
Use that as a metaphor.
No, the point.
Okay, unless you have a pontoon in Lake Minnetonka, I'm not hanging out with you.
Yeah, Adam, whatever you're talking about, that's victim language to me forever.
Okay.
It's the victim language.
I guess I'm a victim.
No, for sure you are, though. In this context,
Tell me
are.
why I'm the victim here.
Because
life's pretty damn
because
good
to
for me.
No, because when I was 23 years old, I said I would never me at 23 years old. If my daughter came up to me and said they're dating me at 23 years old, I would say I'm not ready to have you marry a guy like that. And I chose to change. If you increase your market value, your options go higher.
Okay.
Then you get to pick and choose.
Clearly.
Who can do that? What man can do that?
Me.
No. What man can do that? Not
A
you.
guy who's made it in his life that has status,
No.
that has money,
Instead of being
that
this
has
arrogant,
credibility.
entitled victim,
I'm not
that you
even being
quit-
arrogant.
Hear me out. What man can do that?
What do you mean? What
Every
man?
man
What man can change to increase their
Every man.
value?
Every man
Everybody.
can
then.
or
So for
should,
me-
but they don't.
But that's their problem.
I agree.
Okay, then. So I'm not going to feel sorry for you.
But I'm not. You're not. I'm not.
To you,
do you
to
know
them.
What do you know what the
If
black
a guy,
pill
no, hang on
community
a
is?
second. If a guy comes out and is sitting there and talking about, well, you don't know what the market's like out there, sitting there playing, video games 3 hours, you deserve exactly what you're getting.
I agree.
If you're sitting out there gaining 75 pounds and you're fat, you're saying the market sucks, you deserve. If you're not improving reading books, instead you're reading some nonsense.
Fully agree.
So to me, I don't feel sorry for that guy.
But
I don't.
So that guy's being the victim.
That guy's being a victim.
So how am I being the victim?
By you
Because I've done
say-
all the things that you've told people to do: make money, get in good shape,
No, but
increase your market value, increase your status, increase your network. I've done all those things. So now I'm receiving the benefits of doing that because I'm not settling down right now.
No one's
Okay.
Adam, the biggest criticism towards you is your level of hypocrisy and not being able to make up your mind. For example, if you say, I want to be a playboy the rest of my life, keep living a life you're living. That's your choice. Keep living it. But don't sit here and say, well, let me tell you, this one girl used to be this. I'm playing all these videos, and just a week ago, I had a conversation with you about how we talk over certain things we say. You do it again the following week. After I had a conversation with you last week. After Sarah Huckabee Sanders looked up to me, I told you I don't like that. So if you want to go do something else on somewhere else, do it. Don't do it in a place like this. And I've told you this 50 times. You lack respect in the way you communicate sometimes.
Okay, I apologize for
And
that.
I told you this how long ago? How long ago was this when I had this conversation? And you talk like this. It's like the guy's got 2 daughters sitting here. Okay, there's a part of a little bit this that respect goes a long way. And by the way, I can sit here and talk to Andrew Tate, have a phenomenal conversation with him, and I don't agree with his lifestyle. And I can sit there and say, that's what you choose to live, do it.
Why don't you push Andrew Tate like you're pushing me right now?
No, because why I have pushed Andrew Tate.
Not like this.
No, because for you, you want to have the family. He said he doesn't want to. You say you do. So you're like this guy. Andrew Tate, this is me. Great, go. I respect anybody that believes in whatever they believe in. Doesn't mean I have to choose to live the way you live.
Yeah, but
For you, it's like this. You're so easily, what is the word that you're easily influenced? What is there's a word for it. What is the word that somebody can easily change their minds on? Not impressionable. It's a different, malleable. You're so easily malleable. Like you can go hang out with a group here and then you'll change. And you go hang out here and then you'll change. You go hang out over there, you'll change. Make up your freaking mind. Who the hell are you? What is your identity? What do you stand for? Every freaking week you change to somebody new. Who are you?
I don't.
It's
I
true,
fully
though.
disagree with you.
I agree with that. I fully believe that.
Because I say one day
No,
I would
it's-
like to have a family.
No, it's-
you're using that as against me to be like, well, where's your damn family
No,
already, bro?
nobody said that to
This
you.
guy said this for the last 5 years.
Nobody.
He doesn't have anything. Give Vinny the same vibe that you're giving me.
Nobody said that to you.
Keep that energy with Vinny.
Because
when you're trying to get him a girlfriend on my neck.
But Vinny, the difference between you and Vinny is Vinny wants to have a family, and Vinny doesn't want to go to the clubs, 11 nightclubs, 24/7. He doesn't. He doesn't want to live that life.
Okay.
Period.
That's Vinny's choice.
And that's Vinny's choice. Guess what? I respect his choice because he's standing his ground that this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Vinny wakes up in the morning. Vinny chooses to read the Bible. Not because I told him to read the Bible, because I don't read the Bible in the morning. That guy does. He's the example to him. I'm not the guy that says, you better read your Bible in the morning. That's a bad example. I don't do that. So I can't sit there and claim to do something that I'm not doing myself. Biggest criticism to you is make up your damn mind and stand up for something already. Make up your damn mind and stand up for something already. Truly, for you. The audience sitting there saying, well, no, let me tell you, he's right. You don't know what the girls are like out there. Girls have been like that for as long as I've known girls.
Not like this today, Pat.
They've been like this for as long as I've known girls.
Okay, not like today, Pat.
You can say not like today.
Pat, I wish I could just have that in my DNA to say, look, Pat's my boss. He's the
And
man.
then you go to
and I'm
that.
not going to
No,
disagree with him.
Adam,
I'm
you-
sorry. If I disagree, I'm going to say I fully
Adam,
disagree.
I don't care if you disagree. This are one of our
Well-
key words on the freaking company is
Debate.
but respectful.
Okay, am I disrespecting
The
you?
way you're presenting your argument is disrespectful.
I don't think it is.
I think
because
it
I
is.
cursed one time, I apologize.
No, it's because
But
I
my
had
argument,
I had a talk
But my
with
argument
you.
is not wrong.
I had a
because
talk
I
with
cursed
you.
one time.
No,
and I
your
apologize
argument,
about that.
your argument for a person that wants to live that life is not wrong. Yes, if you want to live that life, and I'm telling you, it's a victim man's life. Let me put it to you this way: if I date a girl, she leaves me. She does something to betray me and leaves me for another man with more money. Am I the victim? Am I the victim?
If you have a victim mentality, maybe you are. If you're like, I'm going to get back
I will
out there,
never,
duffed up myself, and get out
ever
there, you'll be fine.
give the ownership for that woman to see me as a victim. I will never give it that credibility.
I agree with you.
Perfect. So for you, you're saying, well, let me tell you all the girls, it's all the girls, all the girls that. It's a victim's language.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened to the mic. Something happened to it, popped. So whatever you guys did in the back, it just popped here for me. Okay.
Well, I apologize for cursing.
Dude.
And,
Guys.
And I want to say it publicly.
Yeah.
I think this was a very much needed conversation. I think the way that you and I interact on camera, even off camera, is very important. I mean, we can have a great time together, and then we can argue, and we can go back to neutral.
I had a conversation, okay, with a couple friends this last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them very simply a word that gets me to realize who I can trust more or less. You know what is for me at least, this is going to sound weird. Some are going to say you're crazy, and I don't blame you. It's okay if you say that. I'm okay with this. The older you get, you ought to have some values and principles that you're willing to die for. And the older you get, you should have things you stand for. For me, my number one is seeing another man that has a fear of God. And when you see another man fear of God, there are certain decisions they're going to make because they fear God. You get somebody else that doesn't have that fear, they're reckless. I have kids. When I have kids, I went on a date with my daughter the other night. We set the phone aside, and she sat right here. We didn't even do a double date. We went just by ourselves. It was a father-daughter dance, whatever you want to call it. We've never laughed this hard together. Never laughed this hard together. When she grows up, she may marry a guy like me. A guy that, probably has a strong personality. A guy that's probably going to be within my community where they're at. I pray to God to watch over her. I pray to God for her to have good people in her life. My job is to do whatever I can to make that environment more protective of her, hopefully set an example so later on she's able to make some good choices in her life. It's so much easier and attractive to just live a life of just for me. It is a lot easier life. Trust me, if I right now chose to drop everything I got going on with the family and the kids and everything, I would have way more time to run my companies. I'd probably make a lot more money. And I'd probably have a more fun life. Living a selfish life. There's no way in the world that's going to be fulfilling. To me, others can live it, and guess what? More power to you. But what do you stand for? Until you can't get a paper and pen and write down what you stand for, and everything's about, they're this, let me tell you, Pat doesn't know this, and da-da-da-da, for me, the whole is my brother. All right, cool. Live that life. And the way you live, you're going to attract that audience. Whoever connects you, you're attracting people like yourself. What you tell them, you're going to get them to live the life that you've lived versus giving them a different direction and saying, you may want to consider this. That's how I'm wired. I don't have the problem with the debate. We do this all the time. Mm-hmm. We're a 24/7 debate environment. Guy comes up to me saying, hey, you don't like Adam. I hear you're going to fire him. Nope, that's not been the case. I will tell you that the respect part is very important to me. And I've told you this many times. And that's not going away anytime soon. It's not.
I respect you.
It's not just respecting me. respecting the audience that comes and tunes into us. We're not everybody else's show. So a lot of shows that's like, fuck this, screw this, F this. This is not the show. This is to show that let's try to make our argument in the most reasonable fashion and be entertaining at the same time if we can, while trying to maintain what? Respect. I don't want to lecture you. I'm just giving you my values.
I'm cool with
Of
that.
at this age, what I want to do. I get a lot of connects, a lot of questions about people telling me, Pat, I'm at a point in my life where, I just can't find myself to get to the next level. My life is good. My wife is good. My family is good. My this is good. But I'm just having a hard time getting out of bed. I'm having a hard time being fired up. I'm having a hard time identifying what I need to do next. And I tell them, every single one of them, I said, get off this Manect, go order the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, read it, Manect me back when you finish the book. You'll see why. The book was specifically written. When I wrote this book, I wrote it because over the years I've done a lot of business plans for a lot of different people, and I noticed there's 12 blocks that you need. 6 of them are emotional blocks, and 6 of them are logical blocks. Most people do business plan with only one or the other. It's either only focus on emotions, dreams, why? It's either only focus on logic. This book breaks down all the 12. If you've not yet read it, this is the National Reading Month. Place the order, signed copy, and if you order it now, I believe the first 100 are getting this Choose Your Enemy Wisely custom mug that'll be sent to you as well, on top of the free bookmarks of Choose Your Enemies Wisely that'll come your way as well. Place the order, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, signed copies on vtmerch.com. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.